Go. Good morning. Sorry, I'm a bit late on, but I had a few technical issues to sort out. So today, fucking day 5. Jesus Christ, where did the week go? Where did the week go? Now, I haven't seen very many food posts. I don't know what you were doing last night. What did you have for dinner? Did you make? Oh God, I thought I dropped the pen down my breath. What did you make for dinner? What did you discover on your good food, processed food? Like, what was the ratios? I'd love to know. Make sure you're putting in the posts into the Facebook group and let me know what you got up to. So day 5 today is the final day. I'm going to be doing a wee bit of talking now about the metabolism boosting breath work, and then I'm coming on at 11 with Shivani to do a little bonus video for just talking a wee bit more deeper about diet and how we can maximize our health with our diet. So for now, what I'm doing is a thing called Kapalbhati. Now this is from the ancient Indian school of breathing called pranayama. And basically where this comes from, in terms of being a metabolism boosting exercise, there was a study where 60 overweight doctors were given this breathing technique to try called Kapalbhati. And it's a technique that will boost your metabolism and anybody can benefit from. What they found in the study was that whenever they were breathing, I think it was maybe 4 weeks, 8 weeks, after this time their rate of metabolism had increased, their energy levels had gone up, and they did begin to lose weight from their midsection in their abdomen. So when we have like excessive weight around our abdomen, a lot of people have it. Let's not beat around the bush. Like I have it, everybody has a wee bit of extra weight. But too much of this, especially around the abdomen, can be an indicator of poor health or it could be an indicator of poor health about to happen. So it could be a precursor to diabetes or heart disease. So really taking care of that excessive weight around the middle, if there's a lot of fat, then it can maybe lead to heart disease or diabetes. So we've got to be careful with it. So Kapalbhati seems to dissolve that weight, but you do need to keep at it. You do need, as same with anything, do you know what I mean? We're going through this week and we're learning loads of new stuff, but none of it is going to work unless you keep doing the work, which is a bit shit. I wish I could just go bada and then it'll be gone and fixed for you, but that's not the way the word works. So I'm going to show you this technique. It's really, really simple. It just involves abdominal breathing, and then you're breathing through your nose, and it's quite rapid. So if you start to feel like really lightheaded or anything like excessively light, you might feel a wee bit lightheaded. But if it becomes too much, then obviously you take a wee break. So I'm going to make sure you can see myself. So I'm going to show you my tummy. Okay, so excuse all my books in the background. So you're going to be breathing. It's going to look like this. So if you want to put my hand in my belly so I can show you. You're just breathing through the nose. And when you're breathing out, you're pushing in, not with your hand, but you're sucking in your abdomen. So it's going to be like, whenever you're doing a sit-up, you can feel the muscle there. So you're on the out breath, you're forcing it out through the nostrils. So forceful. So you might want to blow your nose actually before this. I'd be shooting snotters everywhere. So both. And you just relax the belly on the breath in whenever you're recovering, that you're doing the inhale. So it'll take a wee minute to get yourself into the rhythm of it. So what you do is this 15 to 20 seconds of this. And then we do remember the breath holds that we were doing? So your breath hold time this whole week has been laying a good foundation for this technique as well. So when we finish our 15 to 20 seconds, take a big breath in. Empty the lungs. And we hold breath here on empty lungs for as long as we can. No breathe. And then the breath hold time, you've been told, whenever you start to feel that first need to breathe, that's whenever you breathe in. But in this breath work, you're going to push it a little bit longer. Okay, so what I want you to do is when you feel that urge to breathe, you're going to count down from 10 to 0 and see how long you can push that out for. All right, and what's going to happen is at 10 to 0 point, you'll probably feel like this it's like a restlessness. You kind of like, okay, I want to breathe, I want to breathe, I want to breathe. You want to do this. But whenever you start to notice that, you'll try and notice that it's actually just a rising of energy in the body. It's like just rising up. And when you feel that rise, just take a big, big deep breath in, hold it at the top, and then hold it at the top for as long as you can. And then we're going to do an oh. And that's one round. Okay. The wee baggy eyes back. I had a wee scratch attack last night, and I just keep noticing it. I'll go work on that. Okay, so this whole breath work is to be done over 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so this is a good routine for you to do. What it does is whenever you're breathing that kind of quick way, do you remember at the very beginning? I was talking, sorry, come back in. Very beginning, I was talking about how when you are breathing, your oxygen cells, the oxygen molecules need to jump off the red blood cells. They need a chance to do that. And in order to do that, they need carbon dioxide in the blood. Okay. So what you're doing in Kapalbhati is you're bringing in, that it's like a hyperventilation. Hyperventilation is bringing in quite a lot of oxygen, and then the breath hold is letting it all jump off. Okay. And because it's such a quick, like this should only last like a minute, maybe a minute and a half to 2 minutes for one round, really. Because that's happening in such quick succession for 10 minutes, you're getting a good boost of oxygen, and then it's going right into the blood, or right into the muscles and right into where it's needed in the body. And this here's activating the mitochondria in the cells. So it's really ramping up the energy that's happening, ramping up the fat burning, ramping up the waste disposal, ramping up all the action that's happening in each individual cell. Like the cell health is so important, guys. Honestly, like you take care of the basic building blocks of your body, everything's going to fall into place. Do you know what I mean? So if you can do things that work on a cellular level, I feel like that's become like a bit of a woo-woo thing. Oh, let's function on a cellular level. Like a blanket statement that kind of people don't really think means anything. It actually does. Like if you work on your cells, things that are going to be beneficial down to the very tiny minute cells, the rest of the health is going to fall into place. This Kapalbhati is activating the cells, really switching them on, turning up the dial, getting everything going. And what's really funny is as well that, oh God, the term Kapalbhati is, it translates as shining scalp. And that means that, whenever you're doing it, you might sweat a bit. So that's the whole point. We're gonna get everything going. We're gonna activate, and we probably will sweat. We'll probably have a wee shiny head, but that's okay. That's what we want. So this is especially good if you're someone who maybe struggles to like actually get up and be active, like exercising wise, or maybe you have like some sort of pain, maybe you have some sort of injury or something that really is preventing you from exercising. This breathing technique can be something that will help you begin to lose weight and keep taking care of yourself. So whenever you're exercising, you have that like that cardiovascular aspect to it. This here is also going to be bringing your heart rate up a little bit, just to get it all activated. Let me make sure I haven't missed anything out. I'll just go over it one more time before I go here. Yes, so you can do this sitting on the chair or the floor. Yeah, I've covered everything. Yeah, that's okay. So right, so just a bit then before we leave. So you're breathing. You don't need, you can sit like with your hands. I'm sitting like this. That's what I do. You can sit with your hands leaning on your knees. You can sit like that, or you can just sit like this. I think this here might be good actually, because you're pulling in your abdomen. So you can't see what I'm doing or what opposite about it. You're pulling in your abdomen. So to do this here might help make it a bit easier, if you know what I mean. Whereas if you're sitting straight, you might hump over a wee bit. Keep your back straight. Okay, so we're breathing through the nostril. When we breathe out, we're pulling the tummy in. Okay. Hold the breath. And again. Sorry, that's good. So you don't see anything nasty. Okay, and again. I've lost coordination here. I think I'm putting off more hand. Oh. Okay. So continue that. The most important part is that you're pulling in the stomach on the exhale. Okay, you're forcing it out. And that'll start to cause that nice shiny forehead that we're after. Okay, so I would love to know what you think of that, how you feel about it. It does take, like you've seen, even me, like I've done it before and I'm still kind of losing momentum with it. Sometimes it like you lose it because you have to think you're breathing opposite to what you normally think you do breathe. If you normally know you're breathing, then you kind of like it's nice and slow. Whereas this is like you're actively pulling in your diaphragm, and it's not a natural kind of movement. So it does take a wee bit of thinking. So make sure you switch on your thinking brain. So this is this is like this could be used as a standalone routine without the rest of the breath work that you've learned, because what this is doing for you is it's doing a slight intermittent hypoxia training, but it's doing it for 10 to 10 minutes, constantly. It's got your Bohr effect of the oxygen jumping off into the muscles of the body where it's needed. It's got your Om chanting, which activates all the nitric oxide in the body as well to help relax and open up the blood vessels and the bronchioles. And it's got that Om chanting as well, which would, the vibration causes you to align with nature and the universe itself. Okay. So you can use that as a standalone routine on its own, or you can use the energetic meditation from day 2. I have also I've noticed as well that people sometimes are finding massive differences between their breath hold time in the evening and the breath hold time at night. So what I'm assuming is a lot of you guys are not sleeping properly. I actually have this amazing hypnosis track that I use personally for ages, and it's just so good. With the headphones in, fall asleep with it in, it's great. Chris, on the other hand, my partner, he was like, I'm not fucking putting that in my ears. I don't know what he's programming into my head. He's like, kind of like, what the hell, it's hypnosis. It's all from a very trusted source, honestly. This is the guys who have made Sober Breath have recruited this person to come in and record. So what it is, it sounds a little bit weird whenever you listen to it, because he talks like very slowly, and his words are punctual, like his emphasis on different ways, like his emphasis on certain words is different to what you'd normally hear in speaking. But that's all part of the hypnosis technique. So whenever you're lying, listen to it, you do kind of just drift off, and then he keeps talking. And he's talking about things like, when you wake up in the morning, you're going to wake up full of energy, you're going to wake up able to do whatever it is that you need to do. If you want, you can listen to it before you actually fall asleep so that you know what you're listening to and you can trust it. But it's a lovely, relaxing meditation. And eventually, as the track goes on, his voice does get quieter, and the brainwave entrainment comes in, so that you'll hear like little frequencies, certain different different things in the track, like interwoven into the track, that will help you bring your mind and your energy down so you can have a good, deep, restful sleep. So that one's called Mind Restore. So I'm going to put that in the catch up email, and you can click that and download that and use that whenever the hell you want as a wee extra. Okay, so I'm going to go now and prepare for Shivani's chat, and that'll be another wee bonus talk for us as well from a health expert. Shivani is trained in, I just am fascinated with this Ayurvedic training she does. There's loads of other stuff like gut health, and she's a very intelligent woman. So if I would really advise you to go and look up Shivi's Table on YouTube and just watch her do her thing. She's an amazing person. So I'm going to go give a quick wee chat with her and see what we are going to talk about today. And I'll see you in 15 minutes. Bye. Good luck with day 1 or day 5. Bye.